Let's cycle back to this idea of you
Yes.
can't
Yes. Yes.
see what you're not.
Right. Yeah. Well, again, it's just, there's a saying that the world isn't, or the world isn't, or somebody isn't what somebody else thinks they are. Or the world isn't what it is. It's what we think they are. Because the only thing we can see is our perception of something. And so from that same concept of, all we could see is our own perception. Like, we don't see the world as it is. That's the quote. That you don't see the world as it is. We see it as we are. And so in that as well, that's one iteration, but you cannot see anything that you're not. And again, everything is energy first. And that brings up to me the law of attraction. And a lot of people use the law of attraction actively, right, to kind of bring things into their life. And I love that. I feel like it's a great way to strengthen the tool of your mind, sharpen the tool of your mind and your consciousness. But we cannot use it to control everything. We cannot use it to control an outcome or an ending, because to me, law of attraction is default mode. So if you don't look at something, or if you don't even know that you're not looking at something, you're still going to draw it to you, because you come in as a big energetic bubble, a big energetic, radiating, vibrant being. And so when you draw things to you, it is all you that you see, even the stuff you don't like. And it doesn't mean you're engaging in it today, but energetically, you're drawing to you that which you are. I'll give you a quick, for instance, like near-death experiences. If you ever read up on work around that, people, when they die and then they come back, depends on what culture they were raised in, what religion they were raised in. That's what they will see for their end life story. They'll see who they are, what that culture has told them that frequency is. Some people will see Jesus. Some people will see Buddha. Some people will see the Garden of Eden. Some people, Muhammad, who knows? Like, they will see who they are. What I love to see, and what I do see, is that I don't see the form, I see the frequency. Because it's just all those beings, from my perspective, they're all the same frequency. They're all the same energy. But they just have different forms. And so we cannot see anything that we're not. And either we're trying to make peace with it, understand it from a perspective, embrace it. There's something magnificent and juicy about what is in front of us. And if we could work with it that way, it doesn't mean we have to take everything in. If it's something negative, we don't have to kind of let that into our lives, but we can understand the suffering about it and then embrace it. It's kind of that oneness factor.
And what really speaks to me is this idea of something I've been doing quite a bit with Jason, my mentor, around like operating at certain vibrations. And again, if everything is energy, well, frequency is right up there, right? And so it's okay.
Right.
How do you manage that energy? It's received in different frequencies. And so if you're able to, for want of another word, raise your vibration, then different people and different opportunities come into your life, and equally different bits of information. Like, there's information out there that's ready to be received by someone at a certain point of vibration. And if you're not able to hold that idea or hold that piece of information, it will just carry on till it finds the right place. And,
Right.
and this is just such a mind-bending idea, because if everything is who you are, or you can't see what you're not, like the things that are frustrating you in your life, like if you're able to raise your frequency, then those will drop away. Or equally, other people that might be dragging you down in some senses. It's like, first you got to work on yourself if you want to change the world around you.
Right.
It's this sense of accountability that speaks so strongly to me, that was definitely lacking in my younger years, and largely because of information. I just didn't understand that was even a way of doing things.
Yeah.
And so can you speak more around then this idea of how you can play with your vibration, what difference that can make on a day-to-day basis?
Right. Well, okay, there's some fun stuff to unpack there. So for sure, it's like a radio signal,
Mm-hmm.
a radio dial. So there's different stations that are out there. And if you want to go ahead and, like you said, say like there's bits of information that you want to get to, then raising your vibration for sure to get there and to receive it is, to me, what that means when people say raise their vibration. To me, there's a little bit more behind it. And what I say to that, it's about alignment of our four bodies. So again, I'm kind of leaning into this holistic, practical, traditional Chinese medicine, holistic
Great.
viewpoint
Yeah, let's hear it.
where it's the spiritual body, the mental body, the emotional body, and the physical body. Four bodies. Imagine that they are your babies or your cute little animals or something. And you say to yourself, do I have a favorite body? Do I have a least favorite body? Do I overwork one? Do I underwork the other? When we get those in alignment, it can sustain the frequency that we want in order to receive this information.
Interesting. Okay.
So what does sustain mean? Sustain means kind of work with it on a daily basis. And what I don't find useful or helpful or sustainable is when we just kind of pop into that high frequency and then we come back down and we think, well, gosh, maybe bad people are around us or this is really harsh. I mean, it's good to understand that, to say what's going on here. But I don't feel that we could just tune out of that. I feel like it is here for us to work through, to own, to get our four bodies in alignment when we're working with the hardship. And if then they just kind of fall away, and for sure saying, my emotional body doesn't like being around this person or this situation, maybe I'll choose different and say no. When you start getting healthy, like holistically healthy, your vibration automatically raises, and it just doesn't automatically raise. It remains sustainable.
Hmm.
So then you don't just have to pop in and out of that frequency.
Cool.
Does
And
that
so,
make sense?
yeah, absolutely. So to me, that's like some of an analogy being some health practitioners that will talk about treating the root cause
Yes.
versus the conventional
Oh,
kind of pharmaceutical led, like let's deal with symptoms. And so in
yeah.
this instance, if you can get alignment in those four areas, then
Oh, yes.
actually the frequency deals with itself.
Oh,
And I love that, right?
it's the byproduct.
Yeah, your foundations are stronger.
Mhm.